Did you know Frederick Allen Hampton was born August 30th, 1948, and was assassinated December the 4th, 1969? He was an American activist and revolutionary socialist. He came to prominence in Chicago as chairman of the Illinois chapter of the Black Panther Party and deputy chairman of the National BPP. Hampton also became involved in the civil rights movement, joining his local branch of the NAACP. His dynamic leadership and organizational skills in the branch enabled him to rise to the position of Youth Council president. One of Hampton's greatest achievements was to persuade Chicago's most powerful street gangs to stop fighting against each other. He founded a prominent multicultural political organization, the Rainbow Coalition. Because of his strong leadership in 1967, the FBI identified Hampton as a radical threat and began to try to subvert his activities in Chicago, sowing disinformation among these groups and placing a counterintelligence operative in the local Panthers. Did you know that? Well, now you do. Peace.
Hey, can you hear me?
Please, I can hear you. I can't see you though.
Oh, okay, 1 second. Oh shit, you can see me now?
Peace, how you doing?
I'm good. How you doing, Queen?
I'm doing good. Thank you for agreeing to come on the show and reaching out. I want to say thank you for that. And I've been following your journey and seeing what you've been doing. And so I just want to give you a little brief introduction. So the people out there who is going to be tuning in so that they know who you are and who I'm interviewing. And again, here I have real talks with quality people who have real purpose. And so my mission and my goal is to, have talks with people who are out there fully living their purpose. And so again, thank you for doing that and agreeing for coming on. Your name is, I'm going to try to pronounce it, Taye Uhuru.
Taye, like Taye.
Oh, Taye. Okay, Tayehuru. Okay. And Camp Cleveland, that's your artist name.
Well, yeah, Camp Cleveland. That's my handle on social media: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. And
Okay.
Taye Huru, that's my African name.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you're an historian, archivist. You're a student of middle childhood education and an independent hip hop artist, as well as a author and a genealogist. So tell me a little bit how you got started, and how you got started on this journey as far as traveling the world and sharing it with people.
um, it kind of started with my family. My family have a lot of Black nationalists, and then my uncle, my great grandfather, my grandmother, she told me about the UNIA and Marcus Garvey when I was young. My mom got me traveling. She used to drive the RTA. So she used to take us on trips. She would take us to New York, Chicago, Pittsburgh and places like that. So I got started kind of young.
Okay, so what made you want to get outside of the United States? And so, well, she's international, so they pretty much everywhere, even going to Africa and everywhere. You've been there before, way before you got going and started traveling yourself.
Well, I always used to read a lot. I always admired African people and African history. So it was only natural for me to make my way to the continent.
Mm-hmm.
But, before I did that, I traveled from coast to coast. I've been to like 45 different states. So I would take the bus, I would fly, to different states and stuff. And then I finally, in 2010, that's when I first got my passport. And then it was on after that. So I'm at about 70 countries right now.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
Okay. That's awesome. And so again, with the can you get a little bit into your book that you wrote, the Afro Set Black Nationalist Party for Self Defense? Can we talk a little bit about that and what inspired that book?
Oh, okay. The Afro Set is a Black Power organization that was founded in the 1960s, and my uncle was one of the co-founders. So it's a very important book. It's a historical book. I was motivated again, like I say, by my family and my family's history. So I'm from Cleveland, so a lot of people don't know this history. So I'm like one of the first people that was fortunate enough to tell the story of the Afro Set.
Okay, that's awesome. That's amazing. So with you traveling abroad, can you give us a little bit of the ups and downs? I was watching another interview you did, and you were talking about how there's a lot of, the upside is like the beautiful women and the culture and all of that. What are some downsides to the differences that you've seen from the United States and then traveling abroad the way that you
Some of the downside, just culture shock. Just when you an American, you kind of see things from one way, So sometimes you may unintentionally, you may look down on things because you may not understand them. But as you travel to more places, you will see that, people have different ways of doing things around the world. And I guess another downside would be a language barrier. It's hundreds of languages spoken all over the world, but a lot of Americans, we only speak English, for those that was born in America.
have?
So I just challenged myself to try to learn more languages. I know a little Spanish, a little Portuguese, a little French, at least a little bit enough to communicate, So when you go to places like Africa, they have thousands of languages. So, it can be overwhelming. Um, I haven't had any horrible experiences or nothing like that, nothing dangerous or violent or anything like that. Most of the places that I go to, people welcome me. They very, very friendly, So I would encourage everybody to travel, at least once, go to a different country, a different part of the world. And if you can't, you should visit Africa. That, in my opinion, that's the most beautiful place in the world. And it's over 60 different countries in Africa. And like I say again, as an American, sometimes we have a view of things. So we have a lot of misconceptions about Africa and African people, So.
Absolutely. The misconception is we think all that dirty and it's, everybody's poor over there and, we're just living the high life. But a lot of times everybody that I've talked to that have been over there, they say that some parts are like better than the United States. They're living really good over there.
Yeah. It's some places that's real nice. They got nice malls and nice cars and nice cities, and they got technology and internet. They got clothes. Some African countries, they watch BET and MTV. So, it's not as far as behind as we make it. And in some ways I think it's better because a lot of African countries, there's dozens of African countries that are a lot safer, a lower crime rate, a lower cost of living, less gun violence, less homicide, less murder, less robbery, less violent crime, if you can understand.
Okay. With the coronavirus and everything that's been going on, I'm sure that has stopped your travels a little bit. Are you ready to get back out there as far as traveling?
Oh yeah, no, I never stop.
Oh,
I'm still traveling. Yeah. I'm a little tired because I was in Dubai and then I had to catch a flight at 5 a.m. So now I'm in Egypt. So
wow.
6 months I've been in Dubai, Egypt, Ethiopia, South Africa. I came to the United States for the holidays. So, I didn't let it stop me, you know what I'm saying? And I think it's pros and cons, you just gotta be careful and make sure you take your COVID test before you fly out. So that way you don't infect anybody around you,
Okay.
If it may happen.
Absolutely. And a lot of people aren't really taking this COVID thing as serious. Have you seen it being affected where you are? Like, is it big over there as well, or is it just over here?
As far as Africa in general, it's less cases of COVID, less people dying from COVID. And I think, like they say, the age thing has something to do with it. So Africa is like one of the younger continents, the people have larger families and there's a lot of children in Africa. So you know, and other reasons why. So for the most part, a lot of the African countries are doing better than in comparison to Europe and the United States. You know what I'm saying? As far as London and Amsterdam and Paris and Spain and Italy and places like that. So I'm in Egypt. I believe that Egypt, Ethiopia, Tanzania, those countries remained open during the lockdown.
Mm. Okay. Okay. Wanted to also get into a little bit about you're also an independent hip hop artist as well. You have a song, "The Black as a Berry," which is a dope video. I have to tell you that as well. That's a dope video. Can you talk a little bit about
Thank
that
you.
and how you got started in the music industry and how that's going for you?
Okay, well, I started writing raps when I was like 15. You know, it's something that I continue to do because I love it. I like making music. And when I travel to different countries, I get to work with different artists and go to different studios. So I've done songs with artists in South Africa, Senegal, Brazil, Dominican Republic, Amsterdam, you know, all over the world. Um, so as far as that video and that song, I really wanted to make a song that, you know, praise Black women, something positive, you know, acknowledging the diversity that we have amongst even Black people, you know what I'm saying? And when you go to different countries, and even in America, you see colorism sometimes, and people, they may prefer lighter skin, or they may think that they might not be as beautiful because they, you know, Black or whatnot. So I think that's a very important song, and it's something that it has what's the word? The content of it, you know, it's something that will last. It's not something that's trendy. It's not something that you would just listen to right now, you know, 5, 10, 15 years from now, you know, a Black woman, a Black girl, or even Black people, they could listen to it and learn something from it and be motivated and inspired.
Absolutely, absolutely. And as well as the "Do Revolutionaries Go to Heaven." That's another dope song as well. Um, you really out here.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Um, uh, yeah, I did that song during lockdown. So I was in South Africa and I shot the video in my neighborhood. I was living in the city of Johannesburg. So that's like the biggest city in South Africa. The neighborhood I was living in, it was called Maboneng. So it's like an art district. It's a one of a kind place because in my apartment building is poets, is dancers, is singers, is producers, is rappers, is, you know, painters, is everything. People that make shoes, people that design clothes. There's so many artists concentrated in this area. And even the people that don't live there, they come to this area to, you know, showcase their talents or sell their products and things like that. But during the lockdown, it was kind of dry. So it was still people coming out. A lot of photographers make money in Maboneng. So when people come into Maboneng, they take pictures and film and stuff. But by being locked down, they really wasn't getting a lot of business. So I was cool with one of the cameramen and you know, we talked about it and then we shot a video, you know, and that's how I did it. And as far as the content of the song, I just wanted to give praise to the Black people that have sacrificed and have given their life and had to do things that they wouldn't normally do just on behalf of other Black people that they don't even know, they never met. You know, they make great sacrifices for our liberation and for our advancement.
Hmm, that's dope. That is dope. That's
You
why.
appreciate you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, that's why I, wanted to make this show, this podcast, to be able to talk to people like yourself and, to get a different perspective and insight on people out there that's really, really walking in the purpose, if you will. With you being a middle childhood education, and can you kind of go into that a little bit as well, as far as you working with, so I got my notes, but my handwriting.
Okay. It's all
I'm
good.
reading it, but yeah, sorry, I just lost my spot. Basically,
I was
can you get into that as far as you working with people and children who have developmental issues and diseases? Can you kind of get into that?
Yeah. Okay, well, I was taking classes. I went to school. I don't have a degree, but I was studying for middle childhood education, and that's basically to be a teacher, like a middle school teacher. But I didn't finish school, but I studied abroad. I lived in Brazil. I went to university in Brazil. I
Hmm.
lived in the Dominican Republic. I studied out there. I lived out there. You know, I worked in orphanages, or volunteered, I should say. I didn't get paid. I volunteered at orphanages, community centers. I worked with people with developmental disabilities. Some were adults, some were younger. You know, I do a lot of mentoring and tutoring, and I work with a lot of people in the community. And I always try to, you know, use the knowledge that I have and the experiences and the information, and I try to share that with the, you know, the younger generations.
Okay. Okay. So what made you want to work with kids? I know for me, I mean, I guess when I was younger, I did want to be a teacher, you know, because I thought it was just cool or whatever. But the older I got, I realized I don't really have the patience, and I don't have kids yet. And so, you know, my
Yeah.
patience is kind of what made you want to focus on children?
I think that's the best place to start. I think like Frederick Douglass, he got a quote. He say, it's easier to build strong children than to repair broken men. You know, as adults, we kind of set in our ways. Even as teenagers, you know, we kind of got it figured out already. You know what I'm saying? And kids are more receptive to knowledge and information, and they're excited about learning different things. So I think it's important for me to it was important for me to find a way to share all of this Black history and all of these experiences. But now that we have more technology in different ways, I'm still able to teach, although it's not in a traditional classroom. You know, we could do Zoom, or we could do meetings, or, you know, we have classes. I started a food co-op, so we have different type of cultural classes, and we invite, a lot of times it's children or parents to bring their children, you know, and they're really excited about the information.
Okay, okay, that's awesome. That's it's really awesome. So what are your plans for the rest of this year and for next year, as far as traveling more and doing more in that, as far as and with the music?
Okay. Well, I have a travel business. I take Americans to different countries in Africa, like I said, to clear up a lot of misconceptions that we have about the continent and the people in Africa. So I have 7 tours right now. We go to Ghana, we go to Senegal, we go to Egypt, Ethiopia, South Africa, and Kenya. So I'm in Egypt right now. So I have a tour this week. So I'm gonna be showing people around. I'm gonna take them to the pyramids, the temples, the tombs. I'm in Cairo. We go to Giza, Saqqara, Memphis. We go to Luxor, we go to the Valley of the Kings, the Valley of the Queens, Hatshepsut's Temple, the Step Pyramid, the Bent Pyramid. We go see the Sphinx, you know, so we learn a lot of things about African people, African culture, and African history. That's my main focus right now. But due to the COVID, it's a little bit slow, but people are still inquiring because they really, really want to see Africa, especially with a lot of the things that's going on in America, a lot of the racism and the oppression. You know, some people are even reconsidering relocating to Africa. And that's something that I want to do. I want to live in Africa. So those are my goals, you know, for this year, to just try to bring more people to the continent, you know, and also I want to visit more countries on the continent so I can learn more, because Africa is very diverse. It's like the most diverse continent in the world, you know what I'm saying? So if I could just give an example, say we live in North America, we live in the United States, but if we go to Mexico, or if we go to Jamaica or Haiti or Guatemala or Canada, you know, those are totally different places. You know, the people look different. The people speak a different language. The laws are different. The weather is different. People, you know, behave in different ways. They have different cultures. So Africa is probably 10 times more diverse than that, and much larger as well.
Mhm. So with the tours, is it like, do you, because I'm very interested in doing something like that. Is it like you pay like a for a package and you can pay it out, or how exactly does that work?
Okay, so you can pay in full or you could do a payment plan. Some people may want to schedule it ahead of time. So they might be like, okay, it's 2021. I want to go in 2025. And then they could just put a deposit down. The minimum deposit is 500, but the total package of the tour is 2,800. So once you put the deposit down, you can pay at your own pace. You know, so the tours include a round trip flight, breakfast, dinner, the hotels, and all of the activities. So like I named all of those places that we're going to in Egypt, all
Mhm.
of that would be included. The admission to all of these historic sites and museums, everything is pretty much covered. The tour includes travel insurance, flight insurance, and that's pretty much it.
Okay, let's go. Let's go.
Thank you, thank you.
Really thinking about doing something like that. I have to get my passport, of course. I've been on like
Oh, okay.
cruises, been on a cruise before. Went to Jamaica, went to Cozumel and the Grand Canyon. But I wanted,
Oh, how did you like it?
I loved it. It was different.
Right.
It was,
Okay, that's good. At least you went somewhere. That's 3 countries, so that's beautiful. That's good. That's real cool.
yeah, but when on a cruise though, it's kind of different because they tell you to kind of have to stay with the travel and stay with the group, so you're not really able to go into the trenches and go into really like see how everything is. So if I could do it over, I would definitely want to be able to do that instead of being limited on where we can go and what we can do.
Okay.
You mentioned something about like the politics and everything going on over here. Is there any difference, and have you seen anything like that in Africa and the places that you've been? As far America, just we the craziest.
Um, I mean, from my experience and my perception, America is the most racist country on the planet in world history. You know what I'm saying? A lot of other countries that impose racism, they studied America, places like Germany and South Africa, so America is just, it's sad really, but a lot of times people don't know any better, you know what I'm saying? So from my experience, I've been to it's almost 60 countries in Africa. I've been to almost 20. I've never seen that level of racism. And the thing that you have to remember is like, okay, say if you go to Ethiopia or Ghana, you flying on the airline, it's a black-owned airline. The flight attendants is black. The pilot is black. When you get to the airport, the baggage handlers are black. The taxi driver is black. You go to the ATM, you take the money out. The people on the money black. You drive into on a street that's named after a black person. The mayor is black. The president is black, and the firemen are black. The police are black. You understand? So the racism aspect is not there. From my experience. So.
Hmm. You're like the second or third person I heard say that, so which makes me even more interested in wanting to get outside of America. And I always joke about it, like I want to go to Ghana.
Oh, okay.
That's definitely on my bucket list.
Ghana is amazing. If you can go to Ghana, you will like it a lot. I think it's like 5,000 African Americans have relocated to Ghana. And I know people that moved to several countries in Africa, and for the most part, they really like it, and they plan on staying. They feel like they increase their quality of life. They feel like they're better off, what I'm saying, for themselves and for future generations,
My stepmom, her church, they go to Ghana for like the last 3 years. They've been going every year, and every time she come back, she just seems more and more woke, if you will. Like she just
right. But that's good. At least you got somebody in your family that have one, and they can share that information with you. Because that's what I try to do. I have a YouTube page, so I try to post as many videos as I can of different parts of Africa. And I do tend to focus on the positive things because we always heard negative things. We only see negative things. So I may show the nice malls, the nice areas, the nice communities, things like that.
What would you say would I mean, I know it's kind of hard to narrow it down to one favorite, but what if you could, what's been your favorite place that you've been to as far as abroad in the different countries? What was your favorite one?
It's hard to just pick one, but as far as Africa, I would say, okay, on the west side of Africa, I like Cape Verde. That's one of my favorite places. I would live there. It's an island, beautiful beaches. It's hot all year, no rain, low population, low cost of living, low crime. Ghana is nice, very, like I say, low crime. See, on the east side, I love Ethiopia. It's a beautiful culture, beautiful people. Um, South Africa is beautiful, very friendly people. Those are maybe my top 3 in Africa, 3 or 4. But like I say, they're all equally beautiful.
I'm sorry. And you also studied. I don't know why I'm tongue tied today. You also spent some time in the Dominican Republic. Dominican Republic as well. Can you talk a little bit about that and how that experience was?
Yeah, definitely. In 2014, I studied abroad in the Dominican Republic. At that time, I was going to like a community college. So, you know, a lot of the local schools in that area, they offer study abroad programs, but it's like to places like France or London or China, you know what I'm saying, or
Mhm.
Spain or something like that. So I had to independently find a study abroad program, and I was successful. And I ended up going to the Dominican Republic for a semester. So I studied at like the top school in the country, Unibe, and I learned about Dominican culture, Latino culture, the Spanish language. I took a class on on diseases and things like that.
Hmm.
While I was in the Dominican Republic, I volunteered at a orphanage. I would tutor the kids, do educational things with them. We repainted the orphanage. We would donate money,
Oh wow.
toys, clothes, and different things. And we donated. And we volunteered also at a couple community centers as well. You know, the orphanage was more so younger kids, you know, elementary school kids, but the community centers it was teenagers and young adults. So it was a beautiful experience. I had a great time out there.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Well, I just again wanted to thank you for everything that you're doing, and for wanting to come on and share your journey. I would love to, to keep in contact and connect more. And I definitely want to go abroad and, go on the tours as well. So we'll definitely have to keep in contact as far as that. To let the people know where they can find you and how to get your music and your social media handles.
Okay. Yeah, if anybody have any questions out there about traveling or visiting certain countries, it doesn't just have to be about Africa. I've been almost 70 countries. I share a lot of my travels, my pictures and information. So you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. My page is Camp Cleveland. And also I have a website, it's campcleveland.org. You know, if you want more information about the tours, if you want to purchase my book, like I say, the Afro said it was an organization and people fought back physically, they fought back economically, they strove for independence for Black people, they educated a lot of people. They had classes and classrooms, they would teach history, they would teach economics, they would teach self-defense, African languages. They would make their own clothes, they would make their own earrings and dresses, and they would go to the farms and they would do target practice and martial arts and different things like that.
Hmm, that's amazing. That's amazing. Well, again, thank you for taking time out of your day to come on to My Quality is for Real. I'm in the process of right now, like revamping and just getting back to dropping more content. And so, thank you. You'll be like my second interview for 2021.
Right. Thank you. I really appreciate you, Queen, so much for even considering me and allowing me to come on your platform. Thank you. I
No,
truly appreciate
I admire people who who have because I'm real reserved and kind of shy a little bit, and so I don't really like reach out to people. But I mean, I admire people who are courageous enough to like, hey, look, this is what I'm doing. Can
you.
can we connect or whatever? So just keep doing that. You know what I'm saying? Keep doing that, and I strive to be more brave in that way, if you will. As far
Yeah,
as
keep
like
doing what you're doing because you're reaching so many people. I'm glad I came across your page, so keep doing what you're doing. So
absolutely, absolutely. Well, you have a wonderful day, and enjoy your the rest of your day and your trip and your tour. And yeah, I appreciate you.
all right, peace, Queen.
All right, peace.